We should be live. What up with your YouTube and YouTube bust? It's your boy TripleCup Chuck, and I'm up. And you're tuning in to the Vibration Podcast, where we talk about Marvel, DC, comic books, anime, video games, and more. Welcome to our humble abode. Let's go. Now, this is the Heroic Vibration Podcast, and we finna do it live. We finna go in. We finna talk about all this good stuff that's been going on. We've been catching up on our shows and all this Marvel and DC goodness. You know what I'm saying? I've been nerding out for the last week. But before we get into these topics, I want to do some introductions. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to start off with my boy Knuckles. You know what I'm saying? Bloody Knuckles, go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's up, everyone? How's everyone doing out there? I'm Bloody Knuckles, host of the Smash Podcast. You know how it is. Just here giving my boy Chuck some love. Thanks for having me out here as always, brother.
Oh, ain't no problem, man. Shit, you home, man. You know what I'm saying? All of us, we rock together. You know what I'm saying? That's how I like to keep it. You know what I'm saying? All of us. That's what's up.
Hey, all nerds, all geeks, don't matter where you come from. We all family.
Right. But next up, I want to go ahead and introduce Kaleidoscope. You know what I'm saying? Dude, it's hard to drag him off of this damn game called Destiny. Man, it's hard to get him out of this game, but he be on that game 24/7. I think it'll suck him back in, man. Oh, Cloud, let the world know. So introduce yourself and tell him, is you hooked?
Yo, I'm still fucking tripping on what Bloody told me at the beginning of the podcast, bro. I mean, I could believe it. Yo, know what I'm saying? The thing is that I just got to pop up on Xbox Live that Bone is broadcasting now. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, yo, people, just to let y'all a little insight, you know what I'm saying, on what Bloody told me before the podcast started about Bone passing out on his own podcast drunk. Now, if anybody knows Bone, you know what I'm saying? It's not something that seems like far-fetched, all right? That's the reason why I was laughing. But either way, though, know what I'm saying? Much love and everything, know what I'm saying? To Bone, know what I'm saying? Intermedia Gaming. And yo, it's the Xbox Goes Kaleidoscope. And trust me, man, I'm hooked on this Destiny 2, man. The addiction came back. I just did the second raid, Eater of Worlds and shit last night. Fucking did... Man. Nightfall on Prestige, fucking was playing competitive.
I Destiny did all that, but man, Destiny 2 done lost it for me, man. Straight out. Right. It doesn't have the same addiction and feel for me, man. I stuck through all first 3 years of Destiny 1. Destiny 2, man.
Dude.
Well, not because
what they say, the colors of the rainbow. That's why there's so many colors. No, I'm saying not everybody likes the same color.
Exactly. Not everyone does like the same color, but for me, like with them having the static rolls, the masterwork gear just ain't that interesting. I was like, it's nothing worthwhile. With them having static rolls, there's no chasing after that one weapon that has the rolls that you want. I was like, armor isn't all that.
Yeah, they changed that up, but have you seen that Antiope submachine gun that the Cryptarch gives you?
Yeah, I've had that for a while.
Have you used it on competitive multiplayer? Multiplayer is sick as hell.
I did play it on competitive, bro. I played it at launch, and I was in that for a good
What type of multiplayer game are you playing now? And you better not tell me Call of Duty, because I'm going to laugh.
No, I ain't playing Call of Duty. I ain't playing nothing right now.
So what do you play competitive?
Competitively?
As far as multiplayer games, like shooting games.
Shooting? Nothing right now. Nothing that's had my interest.
Okay. Well, thank you. You just said it. Nothing else that catches your interest.
Exactly. Look, I love Destiny, man.
Yo, chill. They just sent me a message, yo. But yeah, go ahead, keep going. My bad.
We got called out on it.
Yeah, now I was just saying sometimes you gotta take a break from the shooters, but you know what I'm saying? I'm just not a Destiny fan. I never was, so I don't have a dog in that fight. You know, I hear a lot of people love it, some people hate it. It's just one of those things.
Exactly. And I love the game. I love the universe. I stuck by it through. It's just that Destiny 2 was just too far of a step back. It still has the best gunplay out of any game that I have when it comes to first-person shooters. It just has right now the content and everything in there isn't long lasting, and everything they have planned is just to make it back the way it was before in Destiny 1. It shouldn't have to take a whole year to go back to how it was before. That's just me, though.
Yeah, but let's just say because we're the hardcore players. Yeah. I mean, me, I don't You know what I'm saying? I understand like the strides that they did with the game. They made it easily more accessible for, I guess, the casuals. You know what I'm saying? You know, the stuff with the rolling and the grinding. We love that shit. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like you love the hell out of it too, just as much as I did. All right. But that stuff was what everybody else did not like. You know what I'm saying? And they was trying to maintain the casuals at the same time by trying to cater to the casuals. They turned off some of the hardcore players. All right. But the gameplay, everything that I loved about the game from the beginning, it's still there, dude.
And they toned down the power. I mean, you hardly use your super anymore. And with the way that they minimize classes, there's no builds. Like
I don't know,
you would use super. And Destiny 1, you can get your super back in as low as 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Here at maximum, you can get it in 4 minutes and 42 seconds. Grenades and melees, the lowest you can get them with any boost is 1 minute and 5 seconds. Before, if you had the right build, you can get your grenade and melee back in 27
seconds.
Play
Mayhem, bro. Play Mayhem.
But that's what I'm saying. Even in Mayhem, when you had the right build, especially, you could get your melee and grenades back in 27 seconds. On Mayhem, that goes exponentially through the roof, so it becomes true chaos. I was like that, and with the forced classes, only having
core chaos Mayhem or some shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, they just made a lot of changes that just made it unappealing. Like the only reason that Mayhem now is decent is because everything else is just so slow.
I mean, but you gotta think about it. You can't come out the exact same game and then try to charge somebody the same.
I know what you're saying, but everything that you're complaining about seems like nitpicking because, but comparing the game to like everything else that's out on the market, I don't think there's anything above this, bar none.
There isn't anything.
You yourself just told me there's nothing else that you plan as far as first-person shooters. First-person shooters come and go, and that's the way. Colada, you need this one. You need this one. It's like, nah, no, thank you.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I'm just saying that with it, when it turns around and it's even its own dedicated starts getting put off from it, and that everything that they're doing isn't helping it, is where the big issue lies.
That's the thing. That's your opinion, though, bro.
But look at the numbers.
I was part of 3 different clads, yo. I'm not looking at the numbers. I'm looking at the people I'm playing with. I'm playing every day, bro, with a whole bunch of different people
and everyone
that love the game. Know what I'm saying?
And like I said, I love Destiny, I do, but it's just right now with what the game is, I can't do it because there's just nothing there worth going after. Everything has just been a major put off.
Everything that you told me was nitpicking. You know what I'm saying? You didn't say anything that was wrong with the mechanics, anything that was wrong with the actual game. You couldn't get the rolls. That's a nitpick, bro. Tell me something concrete about the game that's broken.
Say bloody nuggets. I think he's gonna have you turn you to a believer. I think you're gonna become a believer. You're
just nitpicking at the game for certain little things that you loved about year one. Those are nitpicks, bro.
But tell me something that's broken. That's stuff that they built up over 3 years. When the fact is that the gunplay stays the same, but they revert to where there is no customization between the characters. There are preset builds, and even then, there's no real differentiation.
There is customization. How about the mods? You got to add mods to each one of your armor sets, dude. Those are nitpicks again, bro. But the mod there is customization, just not the customization that you want.
The mods were so broken, dude, when they came out. Is that
why they came out? Thank you.
And even still, we haven't seen any improvement to them at all. And even when they have.
I played the hell out of Destiny like for the last month or so, though.
I give example like what he's talking about, like as in people. Now you might not be a fan of it, but they have a lot of people that's fan of 2K basketball, and they mad about the small nitpick stuff that really alters the whole game and the whole enjoyment of the game. Sometimes when you have it's more about like a groove. Once you have a certain groove for the game, you know what I'm saying, it puts off a certain vibe and you get accustomed to that. It's not just about just changing the nitpick, it's changing the whole momentum of the game. You know, certain little things when you tweak it like that, it just kind of draw you away from because it don't give you that same feel. Now it's still a good game. They just kind of went on a different approach from as what I'm saying as being a person.
Yeah, but like what he was telling me about customization, I know where you're coming from. I know where Bloody's coming from. But like as far as customization, as far as the supers, dude, if you use the Celestial Nighthawk, right, with that build where you got penetration and whatnot, right? I was doing yesterday a heroic strike. Before we even got to the third round, that old dude called the witches out and everything. Me and my boy, we both had hunters running Celestial Nighthawk. We both had our golden guns. We was like, you ready? I'm ready. Let's pop it. Bow. 2 shots. We destroyed that motherfucker. We never got to the third round.
Yeah, and that's great and all, because that's the way that the Nighthawk is. It's a one and done, but it's a super shot. But what I'm saying is that supers became so situational. You're not going to be using it all the time. Like before, it ruined the power fantasy, is where it is. Is in this one, it's so slowed down, even in power buildup, that it ruins that feel. You're supposed to be these super guardians that have this amazing power given by the Traveler for the light. And
dude,
when you
barely enjoy the gunplay even more, dude.
Yeah, but
with
they
the hunter, I could actually dodge
they,
sideways and reload my guns.
Yeah, but
switch up to like, let's say a shotgun.
Thing, though, now with the roll, it's a 30-second wait. Before when we had that back on the Night Stalker or with Graviton Forfeit in the first one,
yes, I know people abused it. People abused it. I know. I've seen people.
No, even when they slowed it down, it was still a great thing to have in PvE. Now it's so situational; it's barely used. I was like, the role for the hunters is so minimalistic, especially if you look at the dodge that reloads your gun. You do a small skip that barely moves you anywhere. It's nowhere as situational or useful as a healing aura or an empowering rift from the warlocks, or as the barriers from the titans. Those could be more useful. And with the titans, if you put up a half barrier, you don't even need to reload.
Most of the warlocks, I normally see them dead inside their own rift, bro.
Yeah, and PvP, because the fact that if you have enough output, yeah, you can outdo the healing. But
even in PvE, bro, it depends on who you play with. Bro, I'm saying most of the people that I see that use the warlock, they don't know how to use a warlock. I know how to use a warlock. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of people that they think that popping that rift that makes them invincible. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Normally, I'll turn around during a heroic public event and I'll see the warlock dead inside a healing rift.
Yep. Like I said, it's one of those things. But when you do it for 3 years or almost 4 years and know exactly how to play the classes and stuff, man, you feel the difference. People that may not have played the original don't understand. Whereas if you played all through the first 3 years and really saw the changes for the better as it got up to where it was in Rise of Iron, and then felt the regression in a lot of aspects of how the systems worked in Destiny 2, that sucks, because the fact that it changes up a lot. The gunplay still great, but everything else is not the same, and it's not for the better. It feels like they change everything, slow down, like with the double primaries, having one that's elemental, one that's not. That doesn't change anything up, because typically people are just going to use the elemental one nonstop.
Yeah, I mean, y'all made some good point, but at the end of the day, if you look at it like this here, though, I mean, regardless of the numbers, people gonna like what they like. So
exactly, and that's like fine. Everyone who's still playing, I give them all the respect that they can.
Some people might like it this way better than the first one. So
I actually do enjoy it this way, yo. I can't front, man. The first one, there was too many things, yo. It was too many things to wrap your head around and shit. Everything now is more simplified and shit. You know
right. So actually, two should have been one and one should be two.
Guns, though, I do certain guns like the Galahorn. You know what I'm saying? Or the Vex Missile class.
If someone was like that, and that's in 2 was in the first one, and then we saw the progression to how 1 came around in the second game, that'd be fine. But when you have where it started and now where it's at, it's so off balance, because it feels like 2 was a major step back than even where the first game was in the beginning at vanilla.
Nah, bro. Let's just agree to disagree, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is.
Yeah. Well, look, let's go ahead and hop into some of these topics. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, that was a nice little warm up right there. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, just to let y'all know, these topics not in order, so it's gonna come from different directions. So the first thing I want to talk about is y'all first impressions of this Black Lightning. You know what I'm saying? So what y'all thought of it, the good, the bad, you know what I'm saying, the happy, the sad, the moments that you thought was what the F fucking fuck. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm starting to sound like Bound, you know what I'm saying? He always hollering about 2 F's and stuff like that. But and the audience, I don't know if I condition y'all properly, but this show is spoilerific. I haven't seen episode 2, but if it gets spoiled to me, I already know the consequences about being on the show or watching the show before I seen the movie or TV show. Let it rip. And I'm gonna start off with you, Kalada, because I know you all the way ahead of us.
Well, I won't get into any spoilers and whatnot because Bloody
Man,
hasn't seen the second episode. You know what I'm saying? So if anything, we'll just concentrate on like the first one. But dude, I'm loving everything about the show so far. You know what I'm saying? I mean, especially Chris Williams, the main star, the guy that plays Black Lightning.
yeah.
He's fucking good, yo. He's really good, man. Know what I'm saying? He's carried this show on his shoulders. Know what I'm saying? I love the relationship that they built up around him. You know, the city is not like the way they set it up is not like your superhero villain of the week. Know what I'm saying? Because that could get old sometimes. Know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, every week another supervillain. But no, he's dealing with real life shit. Know what I'm saying? Real gritty shit. Know what I'm saying? The gang is coming over and trying to take over Freeland. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like they've been controlling Freeland for the longest time. They ain't just come to take over it. They've been controlling it for the longest time. And old dude decided, like, to retire and whatnot, know what I'm saying? Because basically it's been 10 years since he's been Black Lightning, know what I'm saying? You get that from the trailers that he's a principal now and all that. And it was all because of ex-wife, know what I'm saying? Ex-wife, he ain't liked all the drama he was going through because he had two daughters at the time, and she was beefing. So he stopped being Black Lightning for like 10 years. And guess what? Shit ain't get better. Shit just got worse. That's all. That's the only thing that happened. Shit got worse and whatnot, which is pretty messed up though. But personally, actually that's probably like my favorite show right now on the CW when it comes to superhero shows. You know what I'm saying? The other one I like is Supergirl. And Arrow has been a minute since I've seen Arrow. You know what I'm saying? But I did see that Crisis on Earth effects, and I do enjoy The Flash. You know what I'm saying? But right now, that might be my favorite show, yo. I mean, I bullshit you now. I think Black Lightning is the shit. That's the real deal.
And that's some stiff competition to say it's got to go against the Flash, the Arrow, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, and they just
That's what I'm saying, yo.
Yeah, that's just the ones on CW. So you know what I'm saying? That's a powerful statement right there. So what about you, Smash? You know what I'm saying? Let me know something, Knuckles.
Oh man, when I saw that episode, I was digging it as soon as it started, and right when it got to the part when he first really started seeing them kick off, bro, it had me so hyped. Like I was digging the soundtrack, I was digging the atmosphere. Like they set up everything that was going on before the show without needing to constantly do flashbacks. Like they did certain aspects, but they kept it still grounded to the main story. And I liked it. Exactly. It was brief. It wasn't over. Spend too much time to overdo it and everything that you see in some shows. But the best part about this for me is the fact that we're actually seeing a superhero that actually is coming out of retirement. You know, we've seen superheroes that are kind of in their ground way, trying to find their way with Arrow, and then we see the beginnings for the Flash on that show and everything with the Legends and everything throughout all the seasons. But now we're actually seeing a hero coming out of retirement who had done it for so long, and thinking that him doing a normal life, being the principal and everything is going to do more for the community because he thinks that he's impacting more when. It's all a facade, you know. He may be helping the next, he may be helping, you know, the future. However, some of those people are still gonna go back around because look at the guy from the first episode, Lala. He knew the principal. He went to the school and all that, and he still ended out that way. It goes to show that no matter how much you prepare for someone for anything, that kind of life and that lifestyle, their environment is still gonna have an effect, and everyone's gonna find their own way to get by, and that's how he made his come up, and that really showed. And it's just great to see, especially the fact that they don't hold back on this. They have, you know, the racism and everything that you would expect, the violence, and the fact that he's not a toned down superhero. He never was. Even in the comics, Black Lightning was always out to kill Tobias Wales, and that's exactly what he is in the show. He did it from the very beginning when they talked about his origins, and even now he's still not afraid to kill Tobias Wales or anyone else that got into his way, and I love that aspect. The only thing that was different that I didn't mind is that they changed the name of the city, because now it's Freeland from where it was originally known as Suicide Slums.
Okay.
Yeah, but I can see why they changed the name.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I'm going last because I have the complete opposite, and I'm glad because y'all was almost telling me on the show. Y'all was almost telling me on this show. Now I watched.
Wow.
I went in with open arms. Now see this different. Look, this is my opinion. So you know what I'm saying.
No,
You know,
Clark,
everybody had their own different opinion. So
everybody
y'all
has
hear
their own
this here,
opinions, bro. You know what I'm saying? We could all agree to disagree.
right, and we making different points from different angles. So that's always a good thing.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
So this is my thoughts about Black Lightning. It kind of, they, you know what I'm saying, I can understand it kind of had no other choice but kind of bring that Luke Cage vibe in. Well, you know what I'm saying, where he a principal, but he's smooth. He got that cool, smooth little attitude with him. So they kind of like, you know what I'm saying, the way I'm seeing it is they kind of like choreographed like the way they were showing the pictures and the way they filmed it. It kind of had that same feel of the same way they filmed Luke Cage. I mean, it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying, just like clowning him, but they just try to make it give it that same feel. And when I'm watching, I was like, okay, they kind of threw stuff in there that they either should have flushed out a lot better because it's a season, not just one episode. They got a lot of time where they could really flush stuff out. Like when they was when they did that the police pull them over for the racial profiling, how they wanted to touch on it just a little bit. See, they could have either, because the way they did that, it was too awkward. You know what I'm saying? I know, you know, situations like that happen, but the way they just did that, it seemed too awkward. You didn't relate to it at all. You know what I'm saying? Black or white, you understand the situation, but they should have made it more relatable, as in they could have showed like glimpse and, you know, say like Easter eggs in the same episode where they were showing like the place got robbed or whatever like that, but why they out doing other things, but in the background that's happening. So once he get pulled over, you know what I'm saying, you'll say, oh, that's why they kind of pulling them over. So it give it a more of a shady gray area instead of trying to say, oh, look, bad cops want to harass him. No, they should have made it more shady gray. Well, people could say, okay, I could understand why would they kind of sort of do that, make, you know what I'm saying, believable. Like, just don't have it just random. So if they would,
here's one point I need to point out though, because I mean, I did take I do write scripts sometimes and whatnot.
Right.
But as far as the story, I know where you're coming from, that they should show, like, I guess, the robbery and whatnot, but that has no bearing on the story because the person that did the robbery wouldn't be part of the actual story.
Right. But see, I ain't talking about being part of the actual story. I'm talking about that's like Easter eggs that they play in the background, so you'll just kind of get a more fuller feel of it. And I'm just picking at that one situation, but I'm talking about like on the overall situation with the with his two daughters.
So how would you do it? How would you do it? You're saying that for them to actually show it, but if you think about it, it has nothing to do with the story of the Jefferson Pierce. He got pulled over. It could have been for anything. It could have been somebody crossing the street.
I'm just saying, like when it happened, it just seemed awkward. Like they could have either just cut that completely out of the show, or they could have made it seem like you gave a look. Like let's say when he went to go look for his daughter or whatever at the club, while he passing up the club, they could have had a man running out of a store with a gun. Or with a bag or something like that. He probably just passing by and they could have just glimpsed with a little showing of that. It didn't, you know, the story continue on. But then when he get pulled over later on, you'll be like, oh, when we seen the woman on that dude running out the store, that's who they reminding him of, and that's why they're looking for him. You know, it could be that's why I say little small stuff like that. That really brings it. Like when that's just one part though. I'm just picking on that one. Let me go to a different.
I know.
With the two daughters. Yeah, I know, but see, that's the whole thing about it. Beautiful is about the fine details. The two daughters, like to me, it was just, they kind of rushed trying to get to that little point right quick. Like they really trying to rush through the little story. I'm looking for them. They could take the whole situation where one daughter is more curious because she's younger. She want to be rebellious, and they got the other daughter. She, you know what I'm saying, she want to be righteous and she want to, you know what I'm saying, stand for a cause. They could kind of slowly kind of introduce that instead of saying, look, this the type of girl she is, this the type of girl she is, this what they doing, she just getting out of jail. They could have kind of gradually brought you into the characters of them instead of trying to just throw them in your face. They should just kind of like, you know what I'm saying, push them out. No, they shouldn't have just pushed them out there like that, you know. And the reason why I'm picking at this here is just like, to me, it feel like they could have did all this, and it's a whole bunch of other little things. They could have just did that in this first episode. But I feel like they really kind of like hurried up and wanted to get it out here now. It's like, we got to get this out now. So they kind of like kind of like skim wrote through it, but it's still a good story, the good base. I mean, it still has good potential. This is a TV show I will watch again next week. Well, actually, I'm gonna watch it tomorrow and watch the next episode, and I'm gonna give it a couple episodes. And I know it got a lot of potential, so I'm there with it for right now. They have a fan that's willing to start from the beginning, because even with podcasts, your first couple episodes be a little rocky, then you start getting better and better. So when I'm watching this show, I'm waiting on improvement. I think it's gonna be, I could respect it and be more grateful for the improvement the more the show come along. But I am a fan. I do want to see the series do good. I'm right there rooting for him. But my nitpicking is just simply upon this first episode and how I just felt like they could have just took their time a little bit more. That's all. They ain't had to rush it.
All right. Well, I understand where you're coming from. I really do, and I respect your opinion just as much as Bloody. You know what I'm saying? I can understand you want for them to take a little more time, you know what I'm saying, as far as introducing the characters. Basically, from the way I took it, you know what I'm saying, is that they set up everything from the first episode. So you already know what I'm saying? His daughter's into this, his daughter's like this, his daughter's, and this is going on. This is the way the city's broken down. The bad guys, they set up the antagonists that really aren't super villains, you know what I'm saying? There's actually a whole freaking bunch of gangs and whatnot, right? The 100
and regular people too. That's what make it even more realistic. So I like
exactly, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that Luke Cage vibe, I wouldn't say it's a Luke Cage vibe. It's more like a Black vibe. You know what I'm saying? That was my takeaway from it. As far as the Luke Cage, it felt like a Black show. You know what I'm saying? The guy Salim Akil, the one that is actually the executive show producer and the one that actually wrote the script for the first and second episode, actually wrote the screenplay as well. He's the one that's running the show. So you know what I'm saying? It's basically a strong
so you
Black view.
The dude that's running the show on Black Lightning, he worked on Luke Cage?
No, he ain't worked on Luke Cage. You know what I'm saying? But he's a Black producer and a Black writer. You know what I'm saying? Just like the same thing for Luke Cage. You know what I'm saying? The guy used to actually work for Marvel Comics. The guy that they put in charge of Luke Cage, which is a trip in and of itself.
It's a Black feeling, but for me, it's more of I get like a vibe of both of them give me a Harlem Night type of vibe. That's what I mean by
Harlem Nights. Well, yeah, another Black film that has a Black vibe. So I feel you. You know what I'm saying? You're not saying anything that I just didn't say, dude. It's a Black vibe, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just like, let's say if they should do a show about Puerto Ricans and shit. I'm still waiting for that show that has that Puerto Rican vibe. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you. That makes sense.
See, here's the thing that I could see where you might be coming from, and where Black Lightning might especially be a struggle is that the issue with it is the fact that he isn't the first Black superhero to have electric powers. Most of every Black hero out there has had some type of electric powers. We've seen it with Static Shock. We've seen it with Storm. We see it with his daughter Lightning. We've seen it all around. And there's a trope with it.
Wally West.
Yeah, Wally West too. But and it's a trope that's been seen before, and it's called and there's just what the actual trope is called, the magical natural Negro trope. And what it is, it's a Black and I'm not even lying about this. All right?
I mean, that's what makes it even more funny. That's what makes it funny.
I know. I'm not even lying about this. It's a trope where that African heroes especially have these strong culminations with the powers of nature and stuff like that. And it's something that I was reading that I found it interesting. The thing is, though, is that Black Lightning's power isn't just electricity. As we've seen, it culminates into so many different kinds of powers that evolve around this, whereas not a lot of the other characters get depths. I mean, look at Storm. She has the power to create storms and control weather to a certain degree, whereas Static Shock literally had the power of just controlling electricity and doing light magnetism and stuff like that with things like of that nature. But the thing is, with Black Lightning, his powers are very different in another way compared to how those other heroes worked. The thing is, though, they really have to breathe new life into him and help vary him up to give him to really take off, because they did the same thing with with the way that they did Arrow. They did Ollie in a much different way than we're used to. We're still kind of seeing how he is in the comics a little bit, but he also has its own unique take, and it's done him justice. We've seen the way that they done Captain Cold and Black Canary and all these other superheroes with Atom, Firestorm. They changed it all up, and it helps to give these characters new depths and new foundations for a different era, and that's what they need to do with Black Lightning.
I mean, yeah, that make perfect sense. And then you kind of when you said that, I ain't never even think about it that way, but you are right about that. But that's something it really crossed my mind about, you know what I'm saying, the whole Captain Planet type powers. But yeah, that is pretty much what it is. But the show still gonna get some shake back for me. You watching it? Y'all gonna continue watching it for the rest of the season?
Of course.
Oh yeah, of course.
Dude,
I love it, man.
Okay, that's good. Well, at least I know we in agreements with that, because I'm still gonna watch it through the whole season. Man, I powered through anything that had something to do with superpowers. I tried to power through it. I mean, it was a lot of shows it was hard to watch, but I still watched it just because they were superheroes.
I mean, you're judging it way too harsh, though, man. It's like, the consensus for Black Lightning, everybody really loves it, dude. It's like 9s across the board. But I can understand your opinions on what you would like in the show.
I mean, I just know what I'm saying. This show, I just want to just love and stuff like that. So you always look for better from all the stuff that you really care about. But this just a little quick tidbit that I discovered. You know what I'm saying? I got told wrong about Blade last time. I'm like, oh, I think Blade got a new TV series, and kind of find out it was old. I just missed it. But I'm sitting in the house. You know, I watch a lot of CW because a lot of the shows was on them. And it was like just playing from one show to another show. I don't know how I was doing it. You know how you be sleeping and you wake up, and then I'm just sitting and catching myself watching this show, and while I was watching the show, they started saying names, and these names sounded familiar. You know, and dude, he kind of looked a little eyed. You know, he's a white dude. He had like red hair, like real red hair. Like it's not you had to dye, you had to be this color red. But I'm looking at the people and the stuff they're going through, and I say, hold up, this really look familiar. And it's called Riverdale.
Riverdale? Yeah.
And I was like, man, hold up. This another name sound familiar. The way they doing these plots and the way the whole storyline. I said, hold on, this is a comic book. This from the Archies back in the day. I mean, it just hit me. I don't know if anybody else know this here. But it was like a slap in my face, like bam, because I ain't never even paid the show. Nobody Riverdale come, you know how they be having little soap opera shows. You don't pay zero mind. Yeah. So when I seen that, I thought that's what it was. I ain't never paid no mind to it till 3-4 o'clock in the morning when you waking up out your sleep and you got the TV on. You just watch whatever it is, even if it's an infomercial. So that's what it was. And I was like, man, I'm gonna actually go back and whatever from the first season, and I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna binge the shit out of it.
It is really good. Like I love the unique.
I couldn't go back to sleep watching it.
Because the thing that people forget about the Archie comics is that Archie has so many spin-off miniseries and the long-standing tradition of how long his comics have been around. And he's done all sorts of dark stories and all sorts of different universes. There's an Archie and Predator comic, for hell's sake, man. Like most
people overlook, they overlook
Archie and Punisher, bro.
Yeah, Archie and Punisher. Like they don't understand that Archie's been all over the industry and some of the weirdest crossovers. And that it's not afraid to be dark. And the way that they're taking the characters and telling the story in Riverdale is phenomenal. They pay homage to the characters with the casting choices they made so well.
Well, dude. Right? It's like you get chills and whatnot watching the show.
Yeah. The only few changes that they made sense for the story, like the music teacher. Because now she's a young woman instead of being the old lady that would always get onto Archie.
Exactly.
But for the most part, dude, the story.
But it made sense though.
Exactly. It made sense in the aspect of the story. But the changes are just so well done, and the story itself is just so captivating. And I love the drama aspect of it. It does really well.
So the show is so good that if you never even heard, not just read, but never even heard of the Archies or nothing to do with this comic book, if you start watching this, it's so good. You'll take it as a show like How to Get Away with Murder or Twisted or Scandal. Like it give you that that real deep vibe of you don't know what they're gonna do, what's gonna happen, who gonna do what. Is this person got your back? This person betraying. It's like a real story where even if it had nothing to do with comic books, you will watch this. But by implementing like the arches and then the characters and the I mean like you said, like Nugget said, the perfect cast, everything they did. It was like whoever did this was really a fan, and I just wanted to take a moment to shout y'all out because y'all really doing y'all thing for people that probably overlooked that show. But the next topic,
like you said, it's based on a comic book, dude.
Right.
And I just got to chime in real quick though. The actors that they picked, dude, I only watched the first episode just to give it a chance because it was streaming on Netflix a while back. No, I'm saying it probably still is the first season.
Yeah, the first season on Netflix.
Yeah, so I just like watched the first episode and that shit gave me chills, yo. When Archie came on, later on when Veronica came on, I was like, yo, that's how I would have imagined Veronica in real life. I was like, oh shit.
Oh, dude, the girl
Betty comes in and I'm like, wow, that's Betty. And then Jughead comes in. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like,
that's what I knew.
Hey, you know a little thing about the you know a little thing about the Jughead that most people didn't recognize is that's Cole Sprouse. If you don't remember who that is, that's one of the little twin boys from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody back from Disney. Yeah, that's him all grown up, and you couldn't even tell unless you actually looked at him, man. Like, I was surprised at that because I didn't recognize him, but I was like, why does that face look familiar? I look it up. I was like, oh, God, dude. Damn.
I know where it was from because I wouldn't watch that show, but my daughter had put it on a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? And while I was watching the show, I was like, I seen this kid somewhere, man. I just don't know where.
Yep.
And now I know it was for that Disney show.
Yep. But he's all grown up, man, doing some and man, his character on there, he does Jughead so well. I love it. I love his take on Jughead. The actresses that play Betty and Veronica, like, oh my God, bro! If you had
where did they go search for them, bro? That's what I want to know.
Sound like Knuckles about to have a nerdgasm.
Hey, look, man, seriously. The girl who plays Betty fits that girl next door vibe that Betty has always had for years that you be in love with. Yep. But the actress for Veronica, oh my God, she has that elegance, bro, that you would expect of a rich girl like her.
True that, man. It seems so comic book accurate, like the way some of these casting choices are in superhero shows and in superhero movies. You know what I'm saying? That some of them casting choices, like, oh hell yeah, spot on. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember the casting for Wonder Woman. Just to talk, just to bring this up, a lot of people was pissed off because she didn't have big boobs, right? The minute they said Gal Gadot, I was like,
I mean, yeah,
I was like, can she act? And then I saw her performance in Batman v Superman. I was like, okay, I ain't get enough of her in Batman vs, but she still stood head and shoulders above everybody else in that movie.
I think with the mute.
Yeah, because everyone was talking bad about that because they think of the old like Wonder Woman TV show with what was her name? Way back
Linda
in the
Carter.
day.
Linda Carter. She's the president in Supergirl.
Yeah, and Linda Carter back in the day, man, she was stacked, and everyone was comparing Gal Gadot to her, and it's like, yeah, Linda was stacked. I was like, but Gal Gadot's fit. She has that athleticism you would expect.
Exactly, dude.
I mean, to me, they did the perfect case. So
exactly. I agree. She was perfect for it, and she knocked it out of the park. Like I had my complaints and worries when Tom Holland was first announced as Spider-Man and Civil War after coming off of Andrew Garfield, because Andrew Garfield's personality for that cocky Spider-Man always fit really well for me. But seeing how Tom Holland has both of those aspects a little bit, I loved it. He had the awkwardness. Exactly. He's young. He has that awkward teenage Peter Parker like to the pack because that's him. And then when he gets in that Spider-Man suit and he feels confident like we saw in the movie, that was Peter. Peter didn't feel complete without wearing the Spider-Man suit. He felt like another person when he was in the suit. He was cocky in the suit, and when he was without it, he craved being in it because that he wasn't complete without it. And they did that so well.
Exactly, they did that to a T, man. I can't.
Let's go ahead and move on to this next topic. You know, so this is I want to give a congratulations to the shows at CW that hit on a return episodes, you know what I'm saying, represent for the comic book TV shows. All of them hit over 2 million views on that first season, you know what I'm saying, from the Supergirl to the Flash to Legends of Tomorrow. And one thing that did all of them, but except one, and that was Arrow. They hit like 1.7, but it was close. But all of the shows from when they left off from their on mid-season finale to their on return, all the TV shows is up in views. So it's steady, all of them is steady climbing. You know what I'm saying? And the premiere of Black Lightning hit over the 2 million views on the first episode. And when that hit over that 2 million, it was like out of the CW comic book shows, that one debuted with the most views ever out of all of the shows. So y'all think that the CW shows, they still gonna go in that same direction? What do y'all think about, like, you know what I'm saying, the start of this whole era is called the Arrowverse? I don't care what people technically call it, but when we talking, if I say the Arrowverse, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The show that started this here, it's the show that's is pretty much the weakest link right now. Why y'all think that is, and which shows y'all think should be doing better?
Honestly, and this where it comes to is that these shows continue to do numbers, whether they have a dip or not, they still do. Like, you got to think too that Arrow's been doing this for nearly 6 years now. It's going on 6 seasons. It has its high points and low points. That's in every show where some seasons are good, other ones are not as good, just depending on the stories that they do and that they're trying to tell. You know, during the first season when they had the Black Archer and everything that was going on was real great. Then, you know, second season they brought in Deathstroke, which is a top like an A+ villain. Then season 3 we had Ra's al Ghul. We actually had the League of Assassins. Then season 4, you know, they kind of toned it back a little bit. And then we had, you know, Damien Dark, which not a lot of people knew who Damien Dark was. He was a great villain, but not a lot of people knew who he was. And then they toned it down with the return of another Archer with Prometheus. But then you had another big enemy at the same time with Vigilante. They continue to bring in great characters, but it's just like, but you got to think about the overall villains at the same time. Now look at what they got in season 6. Now it's the story with this one is that the group is fractured. You're having 2 sets of teams while you have another coalition of major villains going head to head. That's gonna start turning up here soon. As well as look at Flash, how it's turned around. The first 3 seasons, we had 3 speedster villains. We had Reverse Flash, which is the most obvious because he's the most iconic Flash villain. Then you had Professor Zoom, also known as the Black Flash, or the Black Speedster, because he was from the Black Lantern Corps, if you actually want to go into the root of it. And then you had Savitar, which is the god of speed. You had 3 speedster villains that were all great and well done in their own rights. Like, I love the change up that they did for Professor Zoom. Like, that one was phenomenal. I love that aspect. However, you see the change in it with now we got the Thinker, a much different type of villain for Barry. And I love that aspect. It's a different change up, as well as what you've seen as we've seen over the progression for Supergirl. And then the Legends. The Legends have always been all over the place because of the fact that it's in a unique show with so many different characters interacting in many different ways. And I love that group because they're always changing out the cast. However, the heroes that they have on there are very phenomenal. They've changed big villains each time. Like the first season, Vandal Savage, like of all villains to go up, they brought in Vandal Savage, and the guy who did him was phenomenal. Yeah, they changed the story up majorly. However, it was still so good. Like, I don't think they have anything to worry about because they have a solid writing team that continues to push these shows forward in such great ways. Because of the fact that they know what they're doing, they're building up a universe, they're taking it episode by episode and season by season. They're not trying to outdo anything. They're not trying to push it out of bounds and go this way or that way. They're doing it at a steady pace, and it's paying off for them. Yes, some seasons are going to be not as strong. However, it's still going to keep growing because of how bigger they're making this universe. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they bring Constantine back and bring back his universe, because they already have the rights to stream Constantine, and we already see that Matt Ryan's going to come back. He's going to be returning as Constantine, and he continues to play the voice for John. So I mean, there's so much that they're doing that people aren't realizing. Like, they're building up this universe, even with their animated shows.
Yeah, with
That
Vixen.
I need to catch up with Vixen though. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, there's two
And
seasons of Vixen that you can see in one large episode for both of them. They now putting out the first season of
and I
the
saw they
Ray.
did a new one, right? Yeah, with the
Yeah, the
Ray and
Ray.
whatnot.
Yeah, and
I
if you
remember
saw
seeing the Ray in the Crisis on Earth X
Infinite,
arc.
yeah, on Earth X, yep. And that one's really good. And then of course they're streaming on the CW Seed all of the first season of Constantine because they own the rights to him now. And now that we saw, he's making a comeback for a 2 or 3 season or 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah, 2 episodes.
2 episodes, yeah, with the Legends. And I think of any group he could have come back and interacted with, the Legends is perfect because John's personality would give such great chemistry with that group.
Yes.
All right, hey, we're gonna come to that question. That's one of the that's a part of the one of our next questions. But let me get Kaleidoscope response. What you think about with all the CW TV shows hitting over the 2 million mark, besides for the Arrow hitting at 1.7, and Black Lightning debuting with the over all the shows with hitting over 2 million views on his first episode.
Well, first of all, I think it's phenomenal that the shows are doing so well. You know what I'm saying? Because like Bloody said, they actually took their time, you know what I'm saying, to build this universe little by little. They ain't just throw everything at us in one shot. Now I can understand why Black Lightning is getting so much attention, you know what I'm saying? Black Panther's in the limelight right about now. You know what I'm saying? Then you got another black show popping up. Luke Cage was a hit when it came out. So that's another reason. And then also streaming. You know what I'm saying? So the shows is like pulling 2 million and whatnot, but they're streaming on Netflix all the seasons, bro. You know what I'm saying? So Netflix, I mean, I got all those shows set up on Netflix because I'm actually playing catch up. Now I do understand why the Arrow might be going down a little bit in views and whatnot. And it's really one of my nitpicks with the show. You know what I'm saying? I loved it when it was Arrow. You know what I'm saying? And his inner circle. When they started adding all these other people, you know what I'm saying? It took away from what Arrow was to me. You know what I'm saying? It's like Batman and his amazing friends. You know what I'm saying? So you got Batman, you got Batgirl, Robin, Nightwing. It's like they decided to add a whole bunch of other people. Not that those characters aren't cool. They are cool. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was stoked just to find out that Wild Dog was actually coming out on the show. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh hell yeah, that's what
not just Wild Dog too, but think when we still had Laurel first trained to be Black Canary, that she trained how to box with the original boxing superhero Wildcat.
Exactly, dude. It's like all those little things and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? It's like makes a comic book geek get a nerdgasm. Know what I'm saying? It's just like you see stuff like that on the shows, and you're like, oh, it's like, yo, I know this, man. Know what I'm saying? It's like just like the stuff that's going down with Black Lightning, you know, his villain being Tobias Wales and whatnot. Dude, that's from the comics, bro. Know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that people that do know the history and whatnot get more invested in it because they're like, all right, these people are treating the stuff that I grew up reading with respect. All right. And they're trying to implement all that. But me personally, I think Arrow worked better when it was him in the inner circle. You know what I'm saying? Him in the inner circle. You know, him, Black Canary. You know what I'm saying? This girl that was helping him out is Diggs. You know what I'm saying? That Diggs was just an original character created for the TV show. But he became so popular, they added him to the comic books. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like a Harley Quinn when she was introduced in Batman, the animated series.
Yep.
She ended up in DC Comics. You know what I'm saying? And became really popular as well. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of things, same thing for X-23. She came out on what? X-Men Evolution? And then she ended up showing up in Marvel Comics. And next thing you know, she's in Logan. You know what I'm saying? So there's a good thing when you do things right and you got fans working on the shows or on the movie properties, you know, you get things that are great. And I mean, look at the stuff that's going to be happening with Infinity War. It's like, dude, I'm so stoked for that though. But let me not get too distracted though. I'm going into that, but still, they're doing a very good job though. They are. I'm actually trying to see, basically trying to play catch up on Legends of Tomorrow, Flash, and Arrow. All right, I'm all caught up on Supergirl and whatnot. The only one I haven't seen is the latest season. But since I guess I ain't see the earlier episodes, I don't want to see them on CW. So I'm gonna wait till Netflix so the whole season is there in order to just stream it in one nice chunk. You know
I'm
what I'm
right there
saying?
with you. I'm behind on Supergirl myself.
Yeah, dude. But I was loving the second season with the Daxamites and all that.
Oh
Dude,
yeah.
you don't know how many nerd chills that shit gave me. Just to know that Mon El was up in this shit. Yo, I'm a big Legion of Superheroes fans. For people that don't know,
Mm-hmm.
Legion of Superheroes is like the Justice League of the 30th century. All right, 30th century. These cats is actually from the future. They changed Monel's story a little bit, know what I'm saying? Because he's in the present, but still, they got all the stuff, man. You know, Daxam being the sister planet of Krypton when
But
Krypton
Yeah,
blew
hey,
up, all that stuff shattered onto Daxam. It's just crazy,
hey, I'm
crazy.
but I
look,
mean,
I ain't gonna let me. I ain't gonna spoil you, but I'll say they straighten everything up for you. That's all I'm
yeah.
gonna say.
No. I know that. I seen some commercials where there's characters in the Legion of Superheroes shit popping up, dude. Trust me,
Yeah,
I'm
that's why I say
dying to
they.
see it, bro.
Yeah, they
I'm
straighten it
dying to
up.
see it.
Hey, hey, yeah,
And think about it. During Supergirl, like the first two seasons, would they not highlight that freaking Legion flight ring in fucking the
Mm,
Fortress of Solitude? They would keep highlighting that. I'm like, oh, yo, I hope the Legion comes in. I hope the Legion comes in. Yo, the Legion of Superheroes, they talk about Green Lantern Corps, that could be their Guardians of the Galaxy. Nah, fuck all that shit, yo. Do the Legion of Superheroes, yo. In a
right.
film, live action, dude, that could be some shit.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. I'm right there with you with that one too, my boy. Man, that's gonna be some amazing stuff. Why DC movies couldn't take notes from DC TV? Man, they put together a
Yeah, bro.
plan. Man,
As a matter
why?
of fact, that stuff with Constantine, remember that they've been trying to do like a dark Justice League movie for the
Justice
last
League
several
Dark.
years? Yeah,
Yeah.
Justice League Dark, right? Where Constantine, Swamp
Swamp
Thing,
Thing, yeah.
Zatanna, Deadman. Yo, why can't you do a CW show about Justice League Dark?
See, here's the thing
Man,
though.
that'd
They
be
did
right on
do that
time.
movie. However, it was an animated movie. And the
I
animated movie
know.
was better. See, that's the problem though, is that the animated movies coming from Warner Brothers Animated Studios is
Are
so
knocking it
much
out the park.
better than their live action studios. And that's where DC is fucking up.
Yeah,
Hmm.
they need to get the writers from the
And those Elseworld Batman things, yo, I want to see Batman Ninja, bro. I can't front.
oh yeah,
Dude, Batman Ninja's gonna
the
be
anime,
so
the
great.
anime.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the anime. Because look at this. You see in Batman as a samurai and a ninja, and we're gonna see the entire Bat family go up against
Dude,
Gorilla
hell yeah,
Grodd.
yo. You saw they
So
had the Red Hood, Nightwing,
when
and Robin, yo, Damian Wayne.
yeah, and not only that, but they had Red
Catwoman?
Robin, they had Red Robin too, and they also had Batgirl. And then they're gonna be going up against Gorilla Grodd as a warlord. And I think there
Yeah.
was, if I remember, that there was going to be a version of Deathstroke in there. Like,
Yup.
come
Deathstroke in
on,
there. Harley
bro.
Quinn is in there. Catwoman's in there.
Yeah, like
And of
for
course,
real,
his
bro.
arch nemesis, the Joker.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I liked it. I liked
they
the
dropped it 3
rendition of the
hours.
Joker. I liked the rendition of the Joker because he looks so menacing as a samurai.
Mhm. Hell yeah. No, and want to know what tripped me out? Is the character designer. The same character designer for Afro Samurai. All right. That I was like, you know what? That's what's up, man. Because I love the character designs from Afro Samurai, man. And
Yeah,
to find out that he's working on this show, a Batman show, I was like, what? I was like, yes, give me more. Give me
Yep,
more.
you can see where
they're gonna do an amazing job, especially if they did the Black Samurai Afro.
Mhm.
Hell yeah, dude.
That was a fire anime that used to come on the Toon Network.
You never seen it?
Yeah, I seen it.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Sam L. Jackson, yo. It's like shit.
Yeah. And you could see in the artwork how similar it looks back to Afro Samurai. And that
Hell
was
yeah.
an underrated show. Like Samuel L. Jackson is a man who appreciates and loves anime. So seeing
Yep.
that artist get to do something big like this, like, oh bro, he deserves it.
Yes, he does, man.
Right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to this next topic right quick. Knuckles almost kind of threw a little spoil out there, a little Easter egg for everybody out there. But the thing about it was, the question is that it said that Kid Flash is going to the Legends of Tomorrow, and he should be
Actually, I got to give it up to you though, man. Sorry, but I got to give it up to you because you called it the last time, man.
Yeah,
Because you had asked this. You had asked this. You was like, yo, who do you think they could actually replace? And we came up with different names, and you was the only one that said Kid Flash.
Hey, And the killer part was when I heard it was confirmed, I said, I have to bring this back up one of the topics just to say, look, glow, glow, glow.
Glow, glow. But like to be fair and honest, like I don't think anyone else really could have been a good fit for them because think about it, everyone else that we've seen all has had time and tenure as a hero, and none of them are more experienced than Wally West besides Sarah as the White Canary when she was the original Black Canary with everything else. Like everyone else has had a little bit of time, but not nearly on the level as him. So I think that he would be a great addition because one, everyone already loves Sarah as the captain for the ship because she's shown that she's has that leadership role to take over for Rip. I think that if anyone can kind of butt heads with her and a leadership aspect that could really do well, it would be Wally.
Yeah.
Because think about the time gap that they did from the end of season 2 or season 3 of The Flash going into season 4 when him and Cisco were taking care of things and running the show while Barry was in the Speed Force.
Yeah, but you gotta look at it like this here though. With Sarah and Kid Flash, no pun intended, but she'll run circles all around him. He wouldn't compare up to her at all when it comes to the leadership skills. I mean, he could be a good leader, but he is nowhere near on the level as her. But what will make him good for Legends of Tomorrow is they lost Firestorm. Firestorm, two parts of Firestorm. One was an engineer, one was a chemist. Well, he was a chemist, right?
No, he was a physicist.
A physicist, yeah, okay, a physicist and an engineer. Wally West is an engineer. He could move fast, and the physicist stuff. He a speedster.
Yeah, he can learn it real quick.
Fast, and they can learn it real quick. So he can like boom, boom. If they need to learn something like that, boom, 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 boom. He can get it. So he could fill a role of both of those two people, just as him by himself. And then by him by himself, they could use the extra money to for the special effects. Instead of spending on two separate actors, they just spending it on him so they could actually use the extra money for special effects. Then they got the blueprint off of the Flash show, so they don't need to do no new costume. Then, you know what I'm saying, some of the CG probably already there. They just gotta recap some stuff, you know what I'm saying? So it's already a fit. He already need a place to go. He was getting underused on the Flash. He had an episode, he was on the Flash. When he said this out his own mouth, I said, hold up. This is not a part of the TV show. He talking to the people that's watching the show. They had a whole episode. He was at the beginning of the show that everybody was talking to us. So they had a little altercation. They go do the altercation. They come back, whatever like that. At the end of the episode, at the very end, Kid Flash said, "Oh, y'all ain't must notice I was missing through the whole episode." And I was like, damn. He said, "That's why I gotta go." You know what I'm saying? That's when he left, he pretty much was stating, do this whole episode, all the fans is watching. You can't get mad that he gonna have to leave the show because we ain't much notice he was gone. But he's a good character. He does well. I want to see him shine. He got a lot of spunk with him. You know what I'm saying? Happy go lucky. He can bring a lot of energy. So if him on Legends of Tomorrow, perfect fit. They all like to have fun and clown, and they mess up all the time. So he'll fit in perfectly right along with them on that aspect as well, just by getting on the chemistry amongst each other. And he got a role to play, and he gonna be like the most OP person on the ship. Yeah. So what about you, Collider? What you think about Kid Flash going to Legends of Tomorrow?
No, I think that's perfect, man. I mean, you know, you need to give the guy a home and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, he was getting underutilized in the Flash show. You know what I'm saying? Because they do have they already had a set cast of characters. I mean, come on, one of them becomes actually Killer Frost. You know what I'm saying? Which is another thing that gave me the orgasms. Vibe. You know what I'm saying? Is like I love the slow build up for these characters. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And then adding in Wally. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're taking away from the characters that you already love. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, not that Wally's a bad character. He's actually a very good character. So that's why him actually, you know, going into Legends of Tomorrow actually would help out Legends of Tomorrow, like you said, because they lost Firestorm. You know what I'm saying? So you need something to fill that gap. You know what I'm saying? And Wally, being the speedster that he is, being the wise, happy-go-lucky dude that he is, would work, man. know what I'm saying? So I think it's actually perfect, man. It actually is going to end up benefiting both shows. All right. Because like that on the Flash, we could get back to the characters that we really enjoy, from Iris West to freaking to
Even Joe,
Barry Allen, know what I'm saying? To
yeah,
Vibe, to Killer Frost, to the Professor. I mean, come on, all these
yeah.
dudes, man.
And
They,
and the way that they
And
do
it's
Harrison Wells,
and
I
it's taking
love.
Gasket on the.
yes,
See,
man. Harrison Wells, man. You can't take away from Harrison Wells, man.
no, and you got to give that actor credit. Like every time they bring in a new Wells, he always puts on such a phenomenal performance through all these different iterations of himself. As we saw with the original Wells, that was combined with Ebard. Then we see Harry that we have now. Then we have then we had HW with the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we had all the other ones that they showed for the Council of Wells and everything else. Like he always does phenomenal iterations of himself, and he's so talented to do that.
Yes, man. Definitely. I agree 100%.
I mean, yeah, he's showing his acting skills. I mean, in reality, I think his acting skills is far beyond everybody else on the TV show because he's showing his versatile. And Barry had the opportunity to try, but it just, to me, it didn't work. It didn't work.
Well, I don't. Well,
I can't say that. That right there, we'll have to agree to disagree, bro.
Now,
I remember that episode.
I just kept seeing Barry.
The musicals. Come on. Look at the musicals with him and Melissa Benoit together.
Oh my gosh, I saw that recently. That shit was badass. I didn't think I would get such a kick out of that. Yeah, I actually enjoyed the living hell out of that show, that episode, and then the ending. Good lord, man.
Yeah, man. Like that
the one that the musical when Flash and Supergirl had to sing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I liked that episode.
And that's because he's a Broadway. He did Broadway before for a little bit. He's a singer, and he gets to show off that every now and then. Same with Melissa Benoit, and it's phenomenal to see that. Like they have different talents in their own rights.
I mean, no, I'm not saying it like that. I was just saying it like when he plays such a good Barry Allen Flash that when I see him, I just seen the Barry Allen Flash, even though he'll probably been playing Salvatore. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to explain that. Like when a person, you see him so much as this person, you start thinking of this person as this person. Like Logan, when you see Hugh Jackman, you see Logan. Yeah. It's hard not to see. Even back in the days with Jack Nicholson, you see the Joker. Yeah. You can't help but to see the Joker all in his face. I don't know if it's just me, but when I see him, I
saw
think
the Joker. I always saw Jack Nicholson painted like the Joker.
Yeah,
but that's me.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, yo. I understand you saw the Joker. Know what I'm saying? But me personally, I saw Jack Nicholson painted as the Joker. Same thing with Heath Ledger. I saw Heath Ledger painted as fucking the Joker. Now, the dude that did the Joker in Suicide Squad, that looks like the comic book Joker, right?
Jared Leto.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the minute I saw that first trailer that he came out, I did not see Jared Leto. I saw the Joker. I was like, oh, snap.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, they give Jared Leto a little bit too much hate. I liked his rendition. I thought it was very different.
Yeah, it was, man. And the thing is that the minute you see him, you don't think Jared Leto. He doesn't look like Jared Leto, bro.
Yeah.
That's why they won an Oscar. You know what I'm saying? Because the makeup on that movie was freaking phenomenal. From Harley Quinn's makeup to Joker's makeup, even Killer Croc, yo. I was like, man, dude. Even the tats that Diablo had. Yeah. Oh, come on, yo. That shit was just raw, man. Raw.
Yeah, man. It was.
And then look at Enchantress, dude.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, definitely, dude. That's another thing, man. That's what I'm saying. They got the Oscar, bro. Best makeup. Best makeup.
I mean, to me, they laid a good foundation. You could tell that, you know, saying that they still didn't have that love. They ain't had that rhythm that they should have had. But it was still. I like the characters, like everybody played and how they played their role. I mean, I can't complain about it at all. But
I can understand if you ain't like it though. There's a lot of people that didn't like it.
I ain't said that.
I enjoyed it. I just see where a lot of
I ain't say I didn't like it. It was just one of the movies like it was. it was a good movie to see. Just to say, it was this. It wasn't wasting my time, but it wasn't one of my tops. It was just one of the ones that fit in the mix.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. And think about it, there's just so many movies out there, man. It's
Yeah, so
like
that ain't a bad.
to
Yeah,
put
so that ain't a
something into
bad
your
thing.
top five. To put something into your top five, you got to think hard, bro. Hard, all right? Because I could come out of left field and be like, "Yo, what's up with the Crow?"
Right. Hey, say, Clyde. Hey, since you said, like, you know what I'm saying, thinking about top five, you know what I'm saying, coming out the best. Hey, look, this next topic I had wanted to talk about was Black Panther breaking records about out of the superhero genre on the pre-order sales. Like, nobody else sold as many pre-order tickets as Black Panther. Not even Captain America, Civil War, Iron Man, none of them in the MCU. Right now, Black Panther is also all of them. So, you know what I'm saying? This is supposed to be like a record-breaker thing that when everybody go see it, they saying that this movie might gross more than any other movie has ever grossed out of the MCU. So what y'all thoughts about this train starting to chug along?
Oh, bro, I'm not surprised one bit. Like, again, and we talked about this before, man. Black Panther has such a phenomenally well done, star-studded cast made by such a well-done director. Like, everything that's come out about it, every tease, the way that the costumes are, the way the Wakanda looks, the story of Black Panther has just simply been knockouts. And these are just teases, bro. Wait till we actually get into the movie. But I'm not surprised this movie is doing so big. And not only that, this is one of the first real big blockbuster superheroes that isn't just another white person. And I don't mean that against anyone. I love Chris Evans. I love Chris Hemsworth. I love everyone out there that's been doing this for a while. But he's one of the biggest ones besides maybe, you know, Robert Downey Jr. Hell, you can give it to Wesley Snipes back in the day with the original Blade movies that came out to help kind of kickstart that up. But this is the first real big budget since then. And it's such a worldwide phenomenon. It's not surprising that it's doing numbers. It really deserves it too. Because we got to see him start it in Civil War. And now we're finally seeing his solo movie kick off. Like, I'm not surprised in one bit.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Good energy. So what about you, Kalada?
Well, Black Panther, I'm not as surprised though, but he's only gonna hold the record until they put the Avengers Infinity War tickets on sale.
Ooh,
that's gonna break all records. You know what I'm saying? But then again, you could say that's Black Panther Part 2. You know what I'm saying? Because Wakanda's in full effect in that trailer as well, people.
But
you know what I'm saying?
You're not wrong about that. But here's the thing, though. You gotta think that this is outdone a lot of the other big Avengers movies right now. And not only that, it's done a lot of the biggest selling solo movies right now. No, definitely. I think I agree that I definitely believe that Infinity War will outdo it because it's the event that everyone's been waiting for nearly a decade. However, when it comes to solo movies, I don't think anything's gonna be on the level of Black Panther for a while.
I mean, I agree with you. And as far as like you saying that it's stacked. Yo, that Black Panther movie stacked like Linda Carter was in the original Wonder Woman. Yeah. All right, that's just the way it is, yo, man. It's like they just both stacked. All right, and it's understandable, yo. I mean, you know, he's the first black superhero, people. The first one. All right, it wasn't Falcon. All right, it wasn't Blade. No, I said it wasn't Luke Cage. No, I said it was actually Black Panther. All right, and he's actually getting his time to shine in the light. All right. What did that first trailer say? That rap song? They step into the light. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure what it said, but it was something about stepping into the light because this is the first black superhero. All right. And he's finally gonna get his just due. All right. That's why so many people are excited. And not just that, but with the love and care that they're treating it. You know, they're treating him like what he is, a king, like royalty, bro. They're treating this like royalty, man. You know what I'm saying? If the MCU would have did a Black Panther movie, like let's say after the first Iron Man, he wouldn't have gotten the tender love and care that he's getting now. You know what I'm saying? But since they waited, they bided their time. Like, nah, we want to do Black Panther right. Once they had everything down, because you know how Marvel be planning. They don't be planning, oh, we got the movies for the next 2 years. Nah, they talking about we got the movies for the next 10 years. You're like, what? Okay, wow. You know what I'm saying? Even before this phase ends, they're talking about that, oh, we know what the next 20 movies are. What? It's like, dude, that's some planning. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, Warner Brothers in DC is like, oh, yeah, we got a Gotham City Sirens movie. Oh no, we're not doing Gotham City Sirens. Now we're doing Birds of Prey. Oh no, now we're not gonna do the Birds of Prey. We're gonna do Lobo. What, dude? Just make up your damn minds and stick to a fucking plan, yo. Stop announcing shit if you're not gonna do shit.
Yeah, they
You know what I'm saying? I mean, they talked about the Justice League Dark. That shit got me so pissed off. Did any of you guys see it? The character designs for Justice League Dark, the actors that they had in mind.
I seen before they had the actor, so I don't.
Dude, they had a for Zatanna, they had that chick from Game of Thrones. Damn, I'm not sure what character she is because I haven't seen Game of Thrones in a minute. She has like reddish hair pulled up in a bun.
I know who you're talking about. Really big nerd girl. She was the one who married the prince, Joffrey. Right?
Yeah, her. That's the one that they wanted for Zatanna. Yo, I saw her in the outfit and everything. I was like, dude, that would have worked, man. That could have possibly worked. But guess what? Warner Brothers, I guess the producers that they have on hand, they don't know what they're doing. Because look at what happened to Justice League, man. You know what I'm saying? I personally like the movie that I got, you know what I'm saying? But then to find out all the stuff that got left on the cutting room floor kind of irritates me a little bit. You know
Natalie Dormer. That's who you're talking about. Natalie Dormer.
Exactly. Yeah. Natalie Dormer, yo.
And he was going to give up till he figured out that name.
No. Yeah. Natalie Dormer.
Bro, that's what it is. Yeah. I know you're talking about.
If anyone has the sex appeal for Zatanna, oh, it's Natalie Dormer. Like, if you see her as a redhead in that movie, or in that show, bro, she will melt you like a mofo. Exactly. And then when you see her in her platinum blonde when she's out doing, when she's not on set, oh my God, you see her in black hair, bro. I can imagine it right now.
That's what I'm saying, dude. And then, oh my gosh, yo, it's like the casting choices that this dude had were freaking incredible. As a matter of fact, want to know who he picked for dad? Chewie tell Ejiofor, the guy that's playing Baron Mordo and Doctor Strange. They wanted him for one of the Justice League characters. Baramundo? Yeah. The one that was basically Stephen Strange ally and then became his arch nemesis. They actually wanted him for a character in Justice League Dark. I'm forgetting the name of the character right now, though, man. I'm spacing him out right now. But I thought it was perfect casting as well, but they missed the train, though. You know what I'm saying? Because now he's on Doctor Strange.
You're talking about Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Yeah, Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Yeah.
The blonde hair, but he had the black eye rings or whatever. Painted eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I forgot the character he was playing, though, man. But if I'm not mistaken... Nah, I don't remember the character, man. I really don't remember the name of the character. But I thought it was perfect casting as well, man. Basically, they missed the train, man. It's like I got sidetracked a little bit, but Black Panther's gonna knock it out the park. It's phenomenal that they're doing those sales and whatnot. It's like I said, it's the first black superhero movie, and they treated them like royalty, yo.
Right, man. You took it all around the world, then brought it all the way back. You a professional.
Yeah.
But be like my thoughts about the Black Panther is. I was looking at it more like the setup, how they introduced Black Panther, and they built up so much hype. So the last movie he was in was just a movie promoting this movie because he gave such a performance. He actually sold his own movie in the Captain America movie. So when he sold itself for that movie, now that made people interested. People that wasn't interested in Black Panther, when they seen him in Captain America, they're like, man, he might be a badass. So that was one way of just doing it. Then Captain America was such a hit. That's the train instead of getting bigger and bigger. So now more and more people is getting interested in it, and more of us is being more like, yeah, we're gonna see it day one. You know what I'm saying? Because they're making good quality movies, and they ain't letting me down. So I'm getting hyped and I'm enjoying this train because all this stuff good. So Black Panther gonna break a record. Then you know what I'm saying? I mean, pretty much and while this train going, all the movies coming out from here on out gonna be breaking records. The only thing that I'm hoping is DC do not mess it up. I want DC to take their time, go back, because they can mess up a whole thing. Marvel could be making all good movies, but if DC make a bad movie, a casual, they're just saying, I'm going to see the superhero movie. I don't know if it's DC or Marvel, and then all of a sudden they see a bad movie. Now they threw for them forever, even though somebody recommended it to them, they might not go back. So that could hurt both. So both of them have to be successful. So I don't want just Marvel or just DC. I want both of them to be successful so we can get good movies all around the board.
Yeah,
so Black Panther is coming
definitely.
out. I just agree. That hype. I want the hype to be okay. Like how you say, it's gonna be a super big budget black movie. Don't really be done. Then be this well loved and this well anticipated. Now that part of it has not been done. I never seen a movie that been this anticipated that was like a black superhero, like, you know what I'm saying, never seen it done before. So this is something unique. So just being a part of this change and this movement just kind of like reshaping our whole reality, the way we seeing these things.
Yeah, with this type of budget, bro.
With this type of budget, it's just changing and making everything. We making history and looking at it from a whole different angle. Like, man, we could see different movies, different people. We don't have to catch the same old
ethnicities and whatnot.
Yeah, and on top of that, we could kind of like expanding all different types of what crazy directions, like a rated R movie, like Deadpool coming out rated R. People's like a superhero movie rated R, breaking records. See, stuff like that. That's making this whole industry, this whole genre. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that love their comic books. You know what I'm saying? We becoming like the main thing. We the Rambos of this generation, the Rockies and the Terminators, and you know, all the old school back in the days. They used to have the movies where the person that sit there and shoot with a gun that never run out of bullets. But you know what I'm saying? That was their superhero of daytime. Now we have our time, and look at the amazing things that we are getting now. Man,
Black Panther, they came back too as the Expendables.
Right, yeah. Still doing it. Man, what I love about them is they have the basicest story in the world, but they gonna make sure they blow up everything. Crack down.
Yep. Hell yeah, dude. I agree 100%, man.
All right. Now say Kaladi, you ready for this one here? All right.
There's one thing though.
Yeah,
I gotta ask you a question. I don't know if you was going to talk about it on the show. Did y'all see the things that they nominated for the Academy Awards?
I ain't see the awards
for the Grammys.
No, the Academy Awards.
The Academy.
No, I ain't see it yet.
They actually nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay, Logan.
It should win.
All right. Best Adapted Screenplay, dude. That I was like, wow. Know what I'm saying? I mean, we've had other comic book movies that won Oscars. Know what I'm saying? From Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight for his performance. Know what I'm saying? We've had Suicide Squad as far as the makeup, which was exceptional. All right. Nobody confront. The makeup was dope as hell. To a whole bunch of other things that things were nominated for, whether it was special effects, so on and so forth.
But this on a different level.
But this is the best adapted screenplay, bro.
This is a different level.
This is like Unforgiven by Clint Eastwood, except with superheroes, bro. You know what I'm saying? So even the Academy, those are the types of movies that the Academy loves. You know what I'm saying? A broken down hero past his prime, so on and so forth. You know, giving it the last hurrah. Dude, the Academy is all over stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm glad that they're actually trying to, at least, even though Wonder Woman got snubbed, yeah, but they're at least trying to recognize that comic book movies, guess what, man? They got stuff, yo. You know what I'm saying? And me being a comic book fan, that makes me happy. Just that it was nominated. Whether they win or not, I really don't care, because I don't really like the Academy Awards anyway. You know what I'm saying? But People hold them on a high pedestal. Know what I'm saying? Just like some people hold Metacritic. All right, but that's neither here nor there. I'm just saying. I'm glad that they're getting its just due.
I mean, that's an awesome shout out, and that's well respected and is well deserved because that's some amazing writing they did on Logan. Everybody who haven't seen it needs to see it, and for those who've seen it, they know when you describe it, you can describe it in one word if you would like to. But
oh man, dude.
Speaking about
Logan, I don't care who you are. Logan was such a phenomenally well done movie that it can make a grown man cry.
Dude, like, of course, man. If that movie doesn't tug at your heartstrings by the end of it, yo, dude, man, you're just a cold motherfucker, yo. That's all I can say.
It got me too. I tried that too. I really tried that too. It was hard.
Dude, man, my heart broke. I
was in there with my girl. I ain't want her to see me crying over no superhero guy. Like,
dude,
man, I gotta hold this shit.
My heart broke when Daphne Keene, the one that plays X-23, when she said "daddy" at the end. That shit broke my heart. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, they put that. Well designed. But speaking about this, I want to talk about Black Widow. Now, there's a prediction that remember I was saying about the Fox, and they was going they're gonna get ate up by Disney, and how I was saying was going Legends of Tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Notre Dame's in this motherfucker. So last thing I want to talk about, I want to say about Black Widow. It's supposed to be getting her own spinoff movie. So for shits and giggles, me personally, I'm just gonna give y'all my opinion right quick because it's short. If they do her spinoff movie, they have to do her justice, and I would love to see her with completely different vibe than everybody else. Do her a solo movie and have it something like John Wick. That's all I want. I want to see a Black Widow just like a John Wick. But
here's the thing.
Smash. You're good on. Let me know what you think.
See, here's the thing that I agree that Natasha is basically the female equivalent of John Wick. She truly is. But the thing is, here's what we want to know though is with this being done, because I'm glad, especially too, the screenwriter is a young female writer who's working on the script for the proposal for it with Scarlett Johansson. They're doing it together. And the thing is, I don't know if I want to see where Black Widow was before she joined SHIELD and everything else, and kind of saw where she isn't now in the movies. Because there's so much that we've teased about her origins over the years that we don't really see everything. We know stories that her and Hawkeye, and I would love to see that. Although at the same time, that I want to see like a really big movie with her continuing where she's. Like the origin story for her would be great. However, I think that she's well established enough right now on to get the basis for her. And I agree that for her movie, it really does need to be the female equivalent of John Wick. She shows that she still holds no issues with killing, and a lot of her scenes, especially look at when they called her and she was in the interrogation when they had her strapped to a chair. She's like, "Give me 5 seconds, I'll be right there." She's like, "I just got to finish up this interrogation." They're like, "What?" And she messes them up in an instant. Like, come on.
That's what I want to see right there.
And like she can still have the humor of those kinds of interactions with certain people. However, I do think that she does need to be able to have those moments where she just goes, full blown. Yeah, ape shit. She goes full on assassin. That's what she is. She is a trained assassin.
Right. True that. And that's what I want to see. Do not hold that rating back. Let her be all the Black Widow she could be. So what about you, Kalada? I want to know what I'm saying, they greenlit the Black Widow movie. Like what type of movie you like to see, and what's your opinion about them greenlight Black Widow movie?
All right. Well, actually, I'm stoked. I mean, nobody deserves it more. You know what I'm saying? She's been a standout character for the MCU for years. All right. for years. I mean, she made wonders in just Winter Soldier. You know what I'm saying? It's just phenomenal, dude. You know, you could say that was a Captain America and Black Widow movie, right? But you know what I'm saying? As far as like her origins, they've actually teased her origins, you know, for a little while in the movies and whatnot, which is good background. So we really don't want to see a rehash of that. But even if they did want to go that route, they missed the train because you got that movie Red Sparrow coming out, you know what I'm saying? Which is basically the same thing. I mean, it seems kind of the same, even though it's based on a novel. But it seems like that guy that wrote the novel, I guess, was into Black Widow comic books or something, even though they say he was an ex-CIA agent. Whatever. That's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? I would like to see her do a story that's in the present, but at the same time go into the past. Let us find out what happened in Budapest. You know what I'm saying? That they talked about in the first Avengers movie. So they always bring it up every now and then. It's like, dude, I always wanted to know what really did happen in Budapest. You know what I'm saying? Could there be a villain that was actually that they messed with in Budapest that actually shows up in the present? I mean, that would be sick. You know what I'm saying? And then action-wise, dude, if you do the action like the way they did the beginning of Civil War with Black Widow, that shit would be sick as hell. And the guys that directed that sequence, nah, not the highway. That was phenomenal.
No. The hallway.
No, the beginning of Civil War where she's fighting those dudes in the open bazaar and shit.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
When you saw them going into the building to attack Crossbones.
Yeah, Captain America was fighting Crossbones on one side and Black Widow's fighting with these other dudes on another side. The way the camera was moving and everything, those are the directors of John Wick, people, just to let y'all know, because they second unit directors and they directed that action sequence. All right, the whole beginning action sequence was by the John Wick directors, bro. All right, so if you get one of those cats to direct the Black Widow movie and do that, dude, that would be sick as hell, man. You know what I'm saying? And it could be a hard PG-13 because remember, it's Marvel. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to go hard R with Black Widow, even though all her other movies was PG-13. You know what I'm saying? So that John Wick thing, as far as being bloody and all that, I think that's off the table. But if you do it like the way that beginning sequence was in Civil War, the movie could be phenomenal because we saw her action sequences as well in Winter Soldier. That bridge sequence, amazing, bro. When she got up on Winter Soldier's shoulders and all, man, Black Widow is the shiznit, yo, and nobody deserves it more. And I'm glad that Scarlett Johansson is actually working with the writer on the movie. That just shows the level of respect that Marvel has for its actors. All right, because they normally talk to their actors like, what do you think would work for your character here? You know what I'm saying? They always talk to all their actors and shit, not like DC. We wrote the script, you're going to film it like the way we told you. You know what I'm saying? That's it. All right, they can't say, Robert Downey Jr. can't come in or, oh, yo, can I change this? Or let's say Ben Affleck, yo, I'm a director. You know what I'm saying? I've won a couple of Oscars. Don't you think we should be doing this? No. You just a producer. Shut up and do what you're told. All right? And then you wonder why Ben Affleck wants to leave as the Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like they say that they're there for their directors. Remember that presentation DC Warner Brothers gave a couple of years back? Oh, we're a company that believes in our directors and their visions for movies. But yet they throw out Suicide Squad and they fucking changed the entire fucking tone of the film from what the director originally intended and made it like an MTV music video.
Yep.
All right. You know what I'm saying? And then they take Batman v Superman, cut out half an hour, and then you watch the 2.5-hour version, and some stuff just does not click and does not make sense. You watch the 3-hour version, and you're like, oh, wow, it actually makes some of these things that I thought didn't make sense or led nowhere actually do lead somewhere. But yet they threw out an edited version. It's like same thing for Justice League. They had a rough cut of 2 hours and 45 minutes. What did we get in the theater? A 2-hour version. A 2-hour version, bro. The villain was cut down, yo, to what was originally in the script. All right. He was actually trying to resurrect his mother. It had nothing to do with no freaking boxes or anything like that. But you know what I'm saying? With that edit that they had to do, they had to rework it that way. All the cyborg sequences were cut down. All the action sequences of freaking Aquaman and Atlantis. The Atlantis was in full display, got cut down. I mean, dude, these guys at Warner Brothers, I just hope they get their act together. All right.
Hey, you seen the extended version? Are you seeing the extended version?
Nah, they ain't gonna release an extended version, bro. Because like I said, it was a rough cut. All right. So a lot of the CG wasn't finished.
They already state that they haven't. They have a cut of all of Zack Snyder's parts of it, but then
Yeah, but it was a rough cut though. There's still a lot of CG that needed to be finished. And think about it, like the amount of money that the movie brought in, is it worth to them another $10 million to finish the special effects? I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? It'd be a pipe dream for me. And there's a petition on change.org over close to 200,000 signatures. All right, not 3,000, not 4,000, almost close to 200,000 signatures.
They want to see, they want to see
Zack
the
Snyder
original.
cut.
Yeah, they want to see it.
I mean, they'll remarket it as in when you buying a DVD, get the extended version. You know, if you do stuff like that, that's gonna make people say, "I've seen it in the movies, but it was missing some stuff." Like how you just explained it. Now, guess what? If it came out with the extended version on DVD, I guarantee I'm going to go get it because I want to see all the stuff that I should have seen. Now, if they were smart,
want to know how long it'll take?
That'd be just like a video.
It'll take about 20 years, like they did with the Superman cut. The original Richard Donner Superman cut, Superman 2, came out 20 years later, dude.
Oh God.
Yeah, but man, they can do that in 6 months. They can do that in 6 months easy. So if they were smart, they would have been thought of that and probably would put that on production, and that'd be the way I sell it. That'd be the best way to sell it.
But the thing is, would it be worth it though, man? You know what I'm saying? The movie got critically panned. You know what I'm saying? It didn't make its money back, all right? Because with the promotion and the reshoots and everything, dude, they had to film easily over $300 million.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, and that was just in the production part. We're not talking about all the promotion they gave for it. You can add another 200 to 250 million on top of the promotion. How many commercials was there for Justice League, dude? There was like a new commercial every week. All right. A new commercial every week, dude. These dudes gave a promotion out the yin yang. And yet people just, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I personally enjoyed the movie, but they dropped the ball, man. You know what I'm saying? That Superman gate, you know what I'm saying? With the beard. I mean, come on, man. It's like his upper lip just looks off, yo. I mean, seriously, they rushed the movie to market, all right, in order to make that November deadline, having the CG effects unfinished, adding a whole bunch of new CG effects that they had to create for the villain, all right, because the villain actually looked a lot more menacing and a lot more cooler in some of the original cuts. But you know what I'm saying? Since they had to reshoot a lot of things and whatnot, that whole beginning of Justice League, that was shot by Joss Whedon. All right, with Batman and everything, that was by Joss Whedon. That wasn't Zack Snyder, bro. All right, so that just goes to show the amount of reshoots that they actually did on this movie, dude. It's ridiculous, man. I know Zack Snyder, they asked Zack Snyder, have you seen the movie? He's like, nah. And I can imagine he didn't want to see the movie, man. His own son came out on Twitter and said, yo, I want to see my dad's cut. I want to see the Zack Snyder cut. All right, because he knows the work that his dad did. And that movie that came out, they completely altered what this man was doing with the film.
Right. They probably, see stuff like that. That's why they're in the position they in right now.
Yeah, exactly, man. Now, I'm sorry that I actually got sidetracked a little bit, but Black Widow, definitely, dude. And get the John Wick directors for it.
I agree. They know cinematography and they know action. They choreograph that so well. And just like Keanu Reeves, Scarlett Johansson does a lot of her own stunts. She's very into her role. So I think if anyone should do it, she should work well with them.
Definitely, man. And you got to take advantage now that she's young.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
they sit on the gold mine and don't know it.
Hey, man, ScarJo's something else, bro.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. Ghost in the Shell is still one of my favorite movies last year.
Dude, she was the perfect spot on person to play the Major. And everyone gave her shit, bro. She looked exactly like her.
I know, bro. I know. Thank you.
Like I said, it like the issue with it, and I mean they put so much work into Ghost.
You read the comic books, right? You read the comics.
I read.
She's been a little girl. She's been a dude. I mean, it's her brain inside a shell, man. Dang.
Yeah. And like, here's the thing: they put so much work into that movie. They had the original animators help to come and recreate. Recreate the suit for her. They recreated the suit. They took the time to do all the editing to make the world look like Neo Tokyo in that in that, and the special effects for that was just out of phenomenal. And like, I understand the big issue with it was the story, is because they tried to take the original anime and then the movie and then combine the stories. That's where the biggest issue was. But everything else was spot on. Like the casting for the characters in there was so great. Like,
I'm gonna tell you something that'll trip you guys out a little bit. And in Japan, when it actually came out in Japan and premiered in Japan, it actually scored higher than the original Ghost in the Shell movie.
Yeah, because a lot of the Japanese audience said if anyone was gonna bring the Hollywood star power, they're like, yeah, she's perfect for it. She looks like the Major. The ones who were making an issue with it was fucking SJWs with this.
Exactly. Thank you.
With this whitewashing bullshit. No. Here's the thing. Yes, there's big Japanese actors who could have played the Major. There was a couple that I would have agreed with. However, they don't have the worldwide notoriety that Scarlett Johansson has. That's what was the big thing, is that she had the body type, the face for it. She was everything that matched the Major and had the name to help bring attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and she brought attention to for all the wrong reasons with these damn SJWs, bro.
Yeah, and like here's the thing. I don't care what people about that. You know, if a character is meant to be black or whatever, that's fine. Keep them black. We've seen the opposite happen. We had characters that were white that are being changed to other ethnicities for diversity. It works. Sometimes it doesn't.
But sometimes it works. Look at Doctor Strange, the ancient one.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I thought she played it perfect, yo. Even though it was like an old Asian dude and whatnot, kind of like Fu Manchu. But dude, she was perfect, man. I ain't even think the minute I saw the movie, I ain't even see, whitewashing or anything. I just saw, wow, she played an incredible character and an incredible role.
And that's what it comes down is what the character can do. I was like, because like I said, we've seen white characters go black or Asian or anything else. Like, here's the thing too that people forget is that the Major didn't have an ethnicity when she was in her fucking ghost. When she was in her shell, she doesn't have an ethnicity. She's a goddamn android.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yes, she may have been Japanese when she was Makoto or Motoko.
Exactly.
She
original.
still has the name, but she is not that. She's an android. The only one who has an actual ethnicity besides the commander is Bato.
Exactly.
Like, man,
that's so true, man. And also the agents that work with them and whatnot. If you think about it, the agent that the Asian dude, I forgot his name though, but he's the other agent that works with them. He was sniper, actually kind of not the sniper dude, because he was always Japanese, but the other dude, he seemed like a California dude, but he was actually Asian in Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That I was like, okay, that's a little twist and whatnot, but dude, it worked. It worked for the story that they was portraying. And I love the world that they brought to fruition. I was like, wow, this just screams the anime, bro. It's like, wow, I actually enjoyed it more than the anime because it moves at a better clip. You know what I'm saying? The anime takes its time, and goes really, really in depth. But this, it just moves at a nice clip for me. You know what I'm saying? So I really enjoyed this overall.
Exactly.
Yeah. So y'all ready for the Out with Your Head segment?
Oh yeah, let's see who's up on the chopping block today.
Of course.
All right, let's go ahead and get it. All right, you have Spider-Man and Blue Beetle. Who will put up a better fight against Robin? And you could choose out of the three Robins, whichever one you think there will be a better challenge for you, the Blue Beetle or Spider-Man. I'm gonna start off with you, Kalada.
Which Robin we talking about?
Now I said you could choose whichever Robin you think there'll be most.
I'm just saying, is it Nightwing, Damian Wayne, Jason Todd?
Anyone you want. But here's a real question. Which Spider-Man are we talking about? Are we talking Peter Parker or we talking Miles?
Miles Morales.
Y'all want to do? Yeah. Let's do the Miles Morales one because he'll fit more with this category.
All right, so you're saying Miles Morales and Blue Beetle, who would win between those two, right?
Yeah, who will put up a better fight up against Robin? I mean, it could be any one of the Robins from Nightwing to Red Hood to Damian Wayne or whichever Robin you would
Yeah,
like to
but that
choose.
makes it a harder question though, man, because
Yeah.
Okay, well,
each Robin has like their pros and their cons, yo.
okay, well, I'll do it like this here. Let's go with Jason.
Well,
Jason Todd, Red Hood.
Red Hood.
Hmm.
That's actually a pretty good one right there.
I'll let you go first, bloody.
Oh man, no, Collider. All right, yeah. All right, we're going ahead, Knuckles.
All
go
right.
ahead and beat it down.
If I had to put it, I would honestly have to say that Blue Beetle would give a better fight against Jason Todd. Because you got to think, Jason Todd is a skilled marksman, and he has such a large cache of weapons and what he's skilled with that Miles is talented and phenomenal as Spider-Man. It has many powers that Peter even doesn't have. Even with his spider sense, though, he would not have the amount of endurance and his abilities would nowhere be on the match for what Jason Todd's arsenal would be able to do. Because you got to think too, he was trained by Batman, so he's skilled hand to hand. Then after being resurrected by Ra's al Ghul in the Lazarus Pit, he already has strong healing abilities from that, from what's left over, as well as having so many different weapons. Blue Beetle's arsenal from everything that comes within the pack with Jaime would be honestly a better match to go against him. Now, the biggest point where Miles might actually win is the fact that his organic webs would better combat against a lot of the weapons or help to trip up Red Hood. However, it wouldn't have enough stopping power to keep him down, because anything that he uses would only be able to really immobilize Red Hood. He wouldn't have anything strong enough to keep him down. Whereas Blue Beetle, he has the photon cannon. He has full-on weaponry to be able to combat Red Hood and actually go toe-to-toe with him.
Man, you kind of got my me kind of thinking about should I change how I'm thinking about this here? But did he kind of sway you in any type of direction, or he kind of left you like that? They leave it even more open to not knowing who you want to choose.
Actually, I don't know, because I've read a lot of Miles Morales' comic books as well, and he has that venom sting, bro.
He does
have a venom sting that will actually paralyze Jason Todd, but that's if he could hit Jason Todd.
Exactly.
Right? That's the main thing. Now, Blue Beetle, yeah, he does have all the weapons and everything in order to go up against Jason Todd. All right. I mean, that scarab just helps out Blue Beetle in every shape or form. It doesn't matter. But Jason Todd, dude, that's what if Batman became the Punisher. Right, that's what Jason Todd is.
But also think too that with the Blue Beetle, especially the new Blue Beetle, he's being trained with the Teen Titans, so he's trained under Nightwing and Starfire, so he has a fair amount of training to hand, not on the level of Jason Todd for certain, because he trained with Batman himself. However, he's not just a typical street average, because remember, Miles Morales doesn't have a lot of training when it comes to fighting.
So
I know. So I think personally, the better fight, I'm agreeing with you though. The better fight would be Blue Beetle against Jason Todd, just for that simple aspect that even though Miles Morales has that venom sting that could paralyze Jason Todd, that would be if he was able to hit him with it though, which is another thing entirely. You know what I'm saying? And Jason Todd is like Batman, like you said. He's gonna go in there knowing that dude's abilities. All right, he's not stupid. All right, he's gonna know what this dude does and whatnot, because think about the original story arc for the Red Hood. He studied all these dudes that he went up against. Know what I'm saying? So he would do the same thing for Blue Beetle, because basically this is the Punisher with fucking Batman. What if the Batman was Punisher, yo?
All right, so
that would be the better fight. That would be the better fight.
So so you agree with the Blue Beetle?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. As well as I do, I agree with the Blue Beetle. I mean, y'all pretty much both put up all the points that I was thinking of as well. So, you know what I'm saying, good points all around the board. And I think Blue Beetle would give Jason a better fight. But now it comes down to the main thing. Who y'all think will win this fight out of Robin and Blue Beetle? I'm gonna start off with Deuce Mads, because I know you got a point you got to put out there.
What's that?
He's gonna start off with you, Bloody.
Oh.
Who do you think will win?
Man, don't tell me the cat got your tongue.
He thinking hard though. He thinking hard. Because I think give him a compelling argument.
Yeah, to actually win between the two. That's a much tougher question right there.
Exactly, dude.
I don't know. For me, I thought I was like, man, that might be a little bit too easy. Probably because
because like he did say, you know what I'm saying? He was trained by Nightwing and whatnot. You know, Blue Beetle. Just like Jason Todd was trained by the original Batman. And then he did his own self-training, you know what I'm saying, with the guns and all that stuff as they do.
But also don't forget that he also had some training with Ra's al Ghul. But after he was when he was raised back after he was killed. So to actually win, I think it would be heavily weighted towards Jason Todd, because Jason Todd, when he came back as a Red Hood, has on many times has given even Batman a run for his money, even with the Scarab and his connection with that, and Jaime's impressive growth as the Blue Beetle. He still doesn't have the skill that would allow him to beat Jason Todd. Maybe if he had more time, or if he actually trained specifically one-on-one for a length of time with like Nightwing or even with Batman, he might have had a better chance. But the thing is, he only by the time he had the Scarab, he was already in his teenager years, whereas Jason Todd was trained as a kid and then spent years with the League and on his own training with weapons. And then Jaime only had a few years with the Scarab, getting adjusted to the Blue Beetle before he actually had a better control over it. So in all honesty, I would have to say to actually win, it would still go to Jason Todd.
So what about you, Colada?
I actually agree, man. I actually agree, because like he said, he was trained since he was a little kid. All right. You know what I'm saying? Blue Beetle wasn't trained since he was a little kid. He inherited the Scarab, or he got the Scarab. You know what I'm saying? So it's a big difference. The only other person that was also trained since it was a couple of them, right? That was trained as they was little kids is Damian Wayne, you know, Tim Drake and Robin. You know what I'm saying? The original Robin, Dick Grayson. Right? Yeah. Nightwing. And Nightwing is just as ill as Batman. All right. So, you know what I'm saying? If this was Nightwing versus Jason Todd, it would go to Nightwing. But no, it's not. This is Jason Todd, Red Hood versus Blue Beetle. So guess what? The Red Hood takes it.
Man, that sounds like hands down. Because I'm agreeing with y'all too. The experience is gonna kill Blue Beetle, because he can have all these weapons, but if he don't know how to use it, he through. And you know,
and Jay Long brought up a good point for the Blue Beetle between Miles Morales, that Miles can go invisible, and that is a good truth that he has that ability. However, with Red Hood, he would still have something to combat that. He would either have infrared sensors or thermal sensors or anything to be prepared for that. He would go in knowing, and you know, he's even outsmarted Batman with that kind of stuff. He's decked out when it comes to tech. He knows what he's doing.
It took Batman to figure out It took him a minute to figure out who the Red Hood. Todd.
Yeah.
Right. He was puzzled for a while, and that's not like Batman.
Yeah, he ain't know. He ain't know, man.
And look again at the Arkham series of games, right? And the Arkham Knight, that was Red Hood. That was Jason Todd coming back, and he was outdoing Batman at his own game.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, but
phenomenal game. Yeah,
and I like the way that they told the
story, the narrative.
Yeah, the story was great, but I like it was their rendition of the what was it? The no. It's a specific story. It's a specific story arc that happened in the comics that essentially happened the same way. It was
Oh, he got killed by the Joker.
No. When trying to think of exactly the storyline, but it was a storyline where Bane had actually released all the major villains in Arkham, and Batman had to take them down all in one night. And when he did, he came back home tired, and Bane jumped him there and actually broke his back. And I can't remember what was the name of the protocol for the name of that story, because that's what happened at the end.
Yeah. That they even published that shit in newspapers, right? With Bane breaking his back.
And that after that, that's when Bruce destroyed the house to activate the protocol when he went to hiding to let Nightwing take over for a while. After that, Nightfall protocol. That's what it is.
Nightfall protocol.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, they did incorporate that into the story beautifully.
Yeah.
Well, sad to say this, but he have to go so young. But Blue Beetle, off with your head. Say today. Wait till I need to give me some tunes where I could have the little guillotine drop down.
Yeah, yo. Now, there's one thing I want to add before we go and whatnot. Yeah, I heard the news, right? That there's gonna be 3 Harlequin movies now.
Yeah, what? I heard.
I know there was one, but I didn't know there was.
Well, the Gotham City Sirens is actually going to become Birds of Prey, so they're going to do Birds of Prey. So I'm happy because we're going to get a actual screen version of the Black Canary. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, it's about time, dude. Black Canary is probably one of my favorite heroines besides Zatanna.
Of course, besides Black Widow? Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, Black Widow, Black Canary, and Zatanna have been my comic book crushes. Just, oh my God. Talk about sex appeal, bro.
Exactly, yo. And not only that, but you also got Batgirl up in there. You also got Huntress. You know what I'm saying? How are they going to work it into the DCEU? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And now they're calling it the DCFU. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the DC film universe. I shit you not, though. They're calling it that, the DCFU. All right. And it sounds like a diss to fans, though, but that's the like terminology they want to go with.
Man.
And then they also got to do a Harley Quinn versus Joker movie. And of course, Harley Quinn is making a return appearance in Suicide Squad 2.
Are they going to have a different Harley Quinn in each one?
No, it's going to be the same one, Margot Robbie. All right. And to top it all off, for Suicide Squad 2, on the set for training, the guy that plays El Diablo was there with them.
Oh, he back?
All right. So, I mean, Will Smith tweeted out a picture and whatnot, and it was him, El Diablo, and the guy that plays Captain Boomerang.
Hey,
all right.
Hey, that guy who played,
like, that's what's up.
Yeah. The guy who plays Captain Boomerang was a trip for me. I like that guy.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. I mean, he did an okay job in that Terminator movie and whatnot. I forgot what it was called, though.
Genesis?
Yeah, Terminator Genesis. I actually enjoyed that movie. I don't know why people gave it so much flack. And old girl from Game of Thrones, she looked that hot in the movie, man.
Yeah, Emily Clark. Woo, bruh.
Yeah, Emilia Clarke, man. Yeah, and she's in another movie coming up. I forgot what movie it was, though, but I know it was something I was geeking out on. But either way, though, Emilia Clarke is going to be showing her face in some superhero movie or some movie that everybody's looking forward to. I just don't know which one it is right now.
Yeah, DC going to have their hands full.
What do y'all think about Birds of Prey, yo? Getting his due.
Well,
I mean, I think that's better than the Sirens.
Yeah, I think that Birds of Prey definitely needed a redux because of the fact that here's the big thing, especially about it, is that they had an old Birds of Prey TV show back on the WB way back in the day.
It's on the CWC, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, yes, it is. And they didn't get enough love and respect back then, and I think it's time that they get a second go around, because you gotta think, besides Black Canary, besides Batgirl, besides Huntress, that some of the other girls that were added into the Bird of Prey, you had Zatanna, who was in there for a little bit. Power Girl was part of the Birds of Prey, and with especially with them already having Supergirl exist, it's no secret that they can make a clone of her and create Power Girl and have her do her own thing, and then they could have her have that show off too, especially. But having it in the movie, whew, bro, come on. Like, there's so much potential with the Birds of Prey to have so many big female superheroes really get their chance to shine.
Yeah, dude. I mean, Wonder Woman proved it. You know what I'm saying? All the stuff that Hollywood was saying is like, oh yeah, a female-led superhero movie doesn't sell. No, if you make something that's good, it'll sell. All right,
Exactly.
because that piece of shit that was Elektra, dude, I was so mad when I went to see that movie.
Dude,
Right?
the original
Elektra.
Daredevil, the original Daredevil and Elektra movies were just kind of
Dude, I'm not gonna even get into that though, as far as how that pissed me off.
They
But
were
Catwoman was also a misstep, but it's a guilty pleasure of mine. You know what I'm saying? Just because Halle Berry looks so fine in that movie. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta give it up to Halle Berry.
Bro, come on.
Yeah, she had her time to shine.
But here's the best thing about that Catwoman is that it wasn't Selena. It was
definitely it wasn't. That's why I enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like I don't take like the history of things. I saw it as an Elseworlds comic. You know how DC does that Elseworlds comic, like that Batman Ninja we was talking about? That's an Elseworlds story. That Batman Gotham Knight, the thing with the Jack the Ripper and all that, the animated one. No, that's another Elseworlds story.
Well, that's actually in the Noir universe. That's actually Bat Noir.
Exactly, but it's still an Elseworlds story though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, that's one thing they got. If they ain't got nothing else, they had that multiverse. Woo, they hold down to that, and they take full advantage. They all the way in.
See, at least DC world. Could explain it, and Marvel they just called it Marvel What If. Right or wrong? That's why you laughing, bloody, because you know it's true.
Who give a shit? That's what they try to.
Nah. What if the What If stories is badass? Yo, I can't front, man. I remember having the issue. What if the Hulk went berserk? Yo, he stretched Mr. Fantastic out so far that he broke him. All right. The Invisible Woman, he shattered his shield, gave her a brain hemorrhage, and she died. He fought the thing inside a nuclear reactor. The reactor went off and the thing died. And the Human Torch, while he was flying in the air, he blew his flames out and he landed and fucking killed himself. Right? Yo, the shit was ill, man. Iron Man, he destroyed Iron Man's armor, yo. The only one that actually killed him was actually Thor. And it was when Thor had the debility, because obviously it never showed up in the movies and whatnot, but Thor used to be this doctor called Donald Blake, and he would have to smash his cane against the ground in order to become Thor. And whenever he had the hammer out of his hand for more than a minute, he would revert back to the doctor, to his human form. All right, so the Hulk was crushing him and whatnot, and his hammer was out of reach. I don't know why he ain't called to it. So he just like grabbed the Hulk by his head and snapped his neck, bro.
Yep.
But it was a bugged out story. But what if, man?
Yeah, they got the Punisher where he killed everybody. They got a lot of the like you said, the what else. But yeah, they pretty good reads for they for a quick run off issue. But
exactly.
Yeah, that's all they good.
They're one-off show.
And you know what I'm saying, we need them every now and then. It's like just taking a break. But you know what I'm saying, we had a good time on the Vibration Podcast. You know, I appreciate y'all rocking out with me. Everybody in the chat, you know what I'm saying, I see you. I was going and coming in all the chat, but you know what I'm saying, everybody much love. Everybody that's gonna watch it later on, you know what I'm saying, much love. Like, subscribe. You know, they just set the bar up a little bit higher, but you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to jump, so I'm going up. You know what I'm saying? Hey, appreciate everybody, and we'll rock out with y'all next week. Later.
Peace.